every single time when I watch movies or snippets of full family having a good time, I thought to myself, why can't I have a full family? Do I not deserve a full family? What did I do wrong?
Welcome back to In Mother Words. This year, in celebration of Father's Day, we have decided to invite dads. I think for me, the story that I want to get to is because you've searched all your life for this father figure, right? And then today you're a father. Take us back to that moment when your wife gave birth.
Oh.
And you finally became a father. Was that the moment you've been waiting for all your life?
I remember it like it was just yesterday. The very first time when I heard Eden cried when he was out, the very first time I snipped the umbilical cord, the very first time I even did a skin to skin with him, it just feels like, oh, my life goal is here. So my life goal was to be a dad I never had. So at the early stage when I was dating my wife, like she even asked me a question. If that is your life goal, would it be a deal breaker if I can't give birth?
Oh, gosh.
And mother's like, you would know, right? Like,
she's so mature to ask that. You found a good woman.
When she asked that, I was like, even if we take a health checkup, even there's no guarantee that a kid will come out, right? And that's why like I resonate so much with like parents who try their best, utmost best to try to have a kid, IVF, etc., etc. It goes to show that how precious life is. Diving back a little bit on the actual day, right? She was a superwoman. She did not take epidural. She natural birth. Whoa. She was a warrior, a commando. And during then, right, I felt so helpless. I felt like, is there anything I can help you with aside from just holding your hand and just making sure you're okay?
Do you feel like you wanted to share her pain?
If I could, I wanted to take that pain. And she was like such in a warrior mode. Back then, there was no ChatGPT, so I couldn't actually ask like, hey, sorry, is this normal or not normal, you know? But like, it's really like that helpless feeling, you know? Like, thankfully, Eden came out smoothly. And he even smiled. Like, I even had a picture of him smiling in my arms, like on the day one. And I thought to myself, like, what can I further do to really protect this?
And did that feeling of being a father happen instantly for you? Or did it slowly unfold a little later?
I guess there's two parts. So the first part is like, yes, I'm a dad. But the second part is like, what does it mean to be a dad? What is the definition of a dad? What's the definition of the dad I never had? Is it going to be emotionally there? Is it going to be physically there all the time? Is it going to be monetarily, I'm going to provide for him? What does it all mean? Does it make sense for both the dad and the mom just to be at home and taking care of the kid? There is no right answer. But there is one answer that I think most people don't want to hear, which is, are you being truthful and honest to yourself on the trade-offs that you're taking on a daily basis? I don't think people are reflecting enough of that. The trade-offs is tougher for me because she took a significant step back on her career just to actually spend more time with the kid, to take care of the kid. She took care of all of the things at home so that I can actually be full force in focusing on my business. And that makes the trade-off even more painful, right? Because I'm not only trading off my own time, my own efforts, I'm trading off what she has traded off for me to give me that peace of mind.
For both of you.
For both of us, right?
Yes.
That's why I am very, very careful with my time nowadays because it's so important to make sure that it's impactful.
Just going back to when you were a little boy and that moment when your dad left, right? And you had to grow up really quickly. You had all these responsibilities. Tell us more about that. You must have gone into survivor mode. Your mom as well. 4 kids, 4 mouths to feed.
Plus her own 5.
Plus her own 5, yes. And you mentioned that she was working overtime and things like that. Do you want to paint a bit of that?
Yeah, so my mom is like not educated. She's like probably like just O levels. So to really keep the family afloat, she had to work like 3 jobs. There was one point in my life whereby even my siblings and my sister was like asking like, Mommy, can you work so hard? I feel that I don't have a mother.
Heartbreak for her.
I cannot imagine how my mom would feel. Like, and I'm telling you now with goosebumps, it's like, she was just trying the best.
Yes.
She was a 30-something-year-old
Yes.
trying to make ends meet, thinking that this is the solution, and yet a call for help, right? Like, your daughter just wants more time with you. So Adrian is like a very huge dad influencer. When I told Adrian this story as well, it's like, one day a little girl went to ask her dad, Dad, how much money do you actually earn a day? So the dad was very dismissive. The dad was like, don't need to know. The next day, she asked again. The day after, she tried again. And the dad just gave out a number. I earn $100 a day. And after weeks and months, suddenly she goes back to the dad. It's like, Dad, I have saved up $100. Can I buy 1 day of your time?
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And I vow to you, Eden, like, when you're watching this in the future, you will never ever have to do this to me, because no amount of money can buy my time with you. And that's why sending you to school in mornings are precious. I want to make sure that I truly enjoy the little time that I have with you as you're ever growing. When I actually incorporated, was it a sign of relief, or was it a sign of excitement, like, oh, I can go and conquer the world? But as I go now, like 2 years into my journey, I start reflecting back. It's like, maybe my dad didn't have anybody to go to. Maybe my dad was going through what I was going through, but at least I had a supportive wife. He didn't. As I start to learn and unpack and reflect about it, maybe he was in a state whereby he was trying his utmost best, but he failed. And he didn't want a divorce as well. He didn't want the family to break up as well. And there's so much nuance to it. And oftentimes, you really don't know a full story until you can actually see both sides of the coin.
Exactly.
And that's why, like, whatever you're doing at this episode is so interesting and precious, because, like, mothers, shout out, right? 世上只有妈妈好. And I agree, because I hold high standards to my own mom and my wife. But how about the other side of the coin?
Yes.
Right? Oftentimes, there isn't much of a voice. Where does that goes?
And that's why we invite you today to share your mind.
Yeah.
This is a very real topic of being a dad who is the provider versus being a dad who is emotionally available and present in a child's life. And yet you need some space for yourself.
Oftentimes, I always think to myself, what am I truly working for? As an entrepreneur, yes, I need to put bread on the table, I put money on the table, but how much is ever enough? So earlier, I mentioned to you about, like, the why behind the why. When I closed my first deal, 6-figure hits my bank. Why am I not happy? I started to ask a lot of these questions.
Why are you not happy?
Why I'm not happy? Because...
Have you unpacked that?
Yes. So I think the key thing is, what is life if it's just purely aiming for money? Did you start up this entrepreneurship journey just to replace your income to earn more? You start unpacking a lot of things, like, maybe I should need to find myself. Maybe I need to find back my roots. What is this Hainanese legacy and dialect that I should probably know more about? How can I actually contribute to something that I feel more strongly about? And I realized that I was severely neglecting about, like, what I really want and what I truly want, masking it in the fact whereby I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this so that I will be the best.
That takes courage to admit. So kudos to you for where you are in your journey. Eldred, when you look at your son, Eden, who is 3.5 today, what parts of your own childhood that you remember the most vividly?
I think it's definitely a moment, and that moment would be, it was actually a request from the school. The school was saying that, hey, can you actually send a baby photo of yourself? And for me, like, I have always thought, like, Eden should look like my wife. Her features are better, right?
Oh,
like,
don't say that.
Like, her features are better. Please look like my wife. And everybody has been telling me, oh no, Eldred is a copy paste to you. Like, and I never felt that way, right? When he was, like, younger, you know, like, baby faces are always ever evolving and changing. Out of nowhere, suddenly, when I actually sent a photo, and now when I look at it, it's like, oh my gosh, we do look like copy and paste. And then when I unpack it with my wife, it's like, oh, he really does look like me. But what about his traits? And it's like, it's a little bit of a mix of both of us, right? Parenthood is a joint project. It's never one, right? But like anything that is joint, who needs to do what? What is the scope? And oftentimes, it's very blurred. Society can actually say that, okay, dad has to go to work, right? Mom has to stay at home in the past. But the exact moment when I can't actually see, like, Eden's like, oh, like, what was me when I was young? I was a pampered kid. I'm the eldest son. Oh my gosh, I'm saying now that I have goosebumps. I enjoyed all the privileges. I had the McDonald's birthday. I had the electric car that drives around the playground where everybody was like mechanically riding bicycle, right? I was the cool kid on the block. And during this time of like when I was born, all the way to probably 7 or 8, it has been always a very good childhood that I have. My dad was always present. My mom was always present. But sadly, like my granddad passed away when I was like 4.
And you were very close to him.
I was close with him. So my full name is actually Wee Soon Kin Eldred. And Soon Kin actually comes from the Hainanese way of pronouncing my Chinese name. And
What does it mean?
It means Chun Quan. So it means Chun Li the Chun, Quan Li the Quan. So it's like Chun Tian, I think is summer, I presume. Quan Li is like strength. And
Summer strength.
summer strength.
And you live in Singapore.
Oh,
So strength all year long.
and Hainan Island, right? Hainan is also like, summer all year. Yeah, but yeah, right? There are a lot of regrets. And I say that with, like, there's definitely happy moments, but there's also very deep moments whereby I wished my granddad was still around and he could see what I'm doing. And I wish that I could have actually spoke to him in Hainanese, because it's a deeper topic, but the dialect is going to be gone. My parents know about it. I can probably listen a bit, but not speak. And if I don't keep the culture and dialect alive, then who are we really and what are we passing down to our kid? I don't want to only pass down monetary sense. I also want to pass down many things.
Roots run deep.
Exactly, right?
What came up for you the most?
Goosebumps. Too many, but to sum it all up, I'm in a very unique position, both personally and professionally, to be the true full version of myself. And perhaps, just perhaps, to be the dad I never had is just to be myself. And I don't need a label on that.
You lost your grandpa, but your dad left you
Yeah.
when you were about 9.
Yeah.
And you grew up without a father figure, not even uncles around you.
No.
There was no masculine model, right? And how did that affect you in how you then become the dad you want to be?
Yeah. There are so many elements to that, right? First and foremost, I think shout out to my mom. And shout out to all the mothers, right, who are listening and watching. She had to actually wear 2 hats. She had to wear the hat of a dad, and she had to wear the hat of a mom. And what does that mean? For her, it's like she's everything, right? She's a core pillar. So we are a family of 4. I'm the eldest. When there's no papa, like Koko becomes papa.
And all the responsibilities.
Any and everything. I was the guinea pig. I had to hold the family together. I had to also work out my own problems as well. When the divorce happened, I was 9 years old. 9 is a ripe age to really understand.
Yes, you understand everything already.
To start questioning, like, hey, I thought my dad was always the good guy. He always bought me toys. He played with me. Tamiya cars, Beyblades, right? Any and everything. We played badminton, basketball together, right? How come now he's forced to leave and I'm forced to stay with my evil mom, right? My mom, who was the disciplined mistress, is like, no, you have to go to bed this time, etc.
She had to play both roles.
Yeah, she was in an emotional wreck herself, right? Like, can you imagine the tough decision that she had to make at her age, right? So she's like older than me on 24, so 24 plus 9, so it's like 33. So like at my current stage, at my current like age, right? Whereby she had to make a decision. It's like, I have 4 kids, I'm not educated, I want to take the 4 kids, but I also want to end this toxic relationship. She had to also go through a lot, right? My mom always say that you need 2 hands to clap. What does it mean to have 2 hands to clap? Are you really looking at the other perspective? Are you sitting into the other person's shoes? Are you overcompensating?
Do you want to talk a little bit about why she felt your dad was toxic?
At the root of it, and that's why it's affected my family so much, and also affecting, I guess, like how I look at business as well. The main reason for the divorce was because of multiple failed businesses.
Oh, that's so hard.
Right? So for my dad, I start thinking about it. It's like, he failed businesses. He burned through more than 6 figures. He was supposed to be the man of the house. He was supposed to put bread on the table. And then my mom was supposed to like take care of the kids. And that's like this thing role that they play. But as I grow older as well, I come to realize, especially starting on my own entrepreneurship journey as well, right? When I incorporated my business on my 32nd birthday, there were so many things that go through my mind. Will history repeat itself? Something that I really want to do, a business, can tear my family apart.
That's so heavy, Eldred. That's so heavy.
There were a lot of things going through my head, and I thought of myself as like, if it's not now, then it's when?
Especially when you think about how people like to say you are your father's son, and this will hit you so differently.
Trust me, I got that big one from my mom as well.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I think it's for her, she hasn't actually gone through that trauma entirely as well, right? And so she was telling me, are you sure you're going to do your own business? Are you sure you're going to make money? What is the timeline that you're going to do? If you don't make X amount of money in X amount of time, can you just go back to be an employee? Not everybody has to be their own boss. You know what happened to our family. Why are you trying this? Why do you want to actually take this risk when Eden is still so young? He's only like 2.
I'm sure she means well.
She does.
Yes. And this speaks so much to how you advocate for fatherhood as a decision, right? How you show up every day, what you say, and you speak so much also about the intergenerational trauma and the patterns that you want to break.
Yeah. It really goes back to what is even intergenerational trauma? How do I actually stop intergenerational trauma? At least like I'll try to end it with my generation, is to really take a step back and heal myself first. Because if I don't heal myself, there's no way I'm going to actually pass on good, right values to my kid. And even for myself,
you have to face parts of yourself.
And these are the tough questions that you don't want to answer. Like, am I really good enough? Am I worthy of rest? Am I worthy of taking breaks? Am I worthy of being a dad? Am I being very selfish for working on myself? The guiltiness that they have when they cannot put food on the table. Are you truly being honest to yourself?
And in Singapore, we are very heavily the Chinese majority. Most traditional Chinese fathers, they prefer to avoid, not confront.
High horse, yeah.
And just shut themselves off. I remember having like to feel like I want to be with my dad, but I couldn't reach my dad. Like there was no way I could
break the door,
break the door down, right? So in your opinion, how is it possible for the dads listening to be more emotionally available rather than shutting down? Because it's easier to shut down,
right?
It is easier to shut down.
Don't even talk about like to the kid, to sometimes to your partner as well. It's easier to like okay, we're not talking about this.
I'm done talking about it.
Yes. Right? Let's sweep it under the carpet.
I don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah. Or tune out.
Yeah. I think it goes back to proper, real, true communication. Are you communicating your real inner fear out? Mm-hmm. And can you truly drop the ego? So I think for dads, especially for dads, I would say in the past, it's way easier because all you need to do is put food on the table, case closed. Now with the shared parental leave coming about, now with dads trying to be more involved.
Which is great.
Now there are more stay-home dads whereby they realize that it's okay, I can drop that ego, right? I can drop that ego and I can stay home and take care. It goes back to what are you truly happy or not happy with yourself? And I think if most people don't even start doing the inner work, they cannot be the best parent that they can, the partner they can.
I think what is incredibly important here, going back to how dads traditionally used to shut down and shut themselves out. But in doing this, they feel isolated. Then this brings us back to your first conversation about where do dads go for help?
Yeah, nowhere. Oftentimes, drinks. You want to go for a drink?
And they drown their sorrows.
Yeah. Do you want to talk it out? No, let's just drink.
But only temporary relief.
Exactly.
So they turn to a vice, basically. That's what you're saying.
The key thing about solving a problem is listing out the problem very clearly. But I feel that most dads, especially the traditional older dads, they suck at communicating. They don't even know how to do so.
I do want to ask this.
Yeah.
What vulnerabilities do you think they are hiding? As a dad, you're in the best position to know this, right?
I think the vulnerability that they are hiding is they are supposed to be the head of the house, the leader of the house, but they don't actually have anything figured out. And it's daunting for a lot of them. I think a lot of times they don't even know how to verbalize what's their problem.
That's true.
And as men, you were always supposed to be, supposed to be macho,
Yes, you have to be the tough one.
The tough one, right? But where is the support group?
Yes.
Where's the, for lack of a better word, like mommy gossip group that like you can actually share something, right? Because you see, that exact point, it's what intergenerational trauma is. Why can't boys cry.
Who will hold them emotionally when they need help?
Exactly. Like, aren't they a little boy that is still trying to navigate things? Why are you saying that he's supposed to be, let's say, he's the koko, he's the what, therefore he should toughen up? Isn't his feelings be valid? I think one thing I didn't actually mention about, which is very crucial also, is when I was growing up, especially after the divorce, every single time when I watch movies or snippets of full family having a good time, I thought to myself, why can't I have a full family? Do I not deserve a full family? What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong.
Gosh, that's so raw.
I was a little 9-year-old trying to figure things out in life. What did I do wrong?
And it's so easy to internalize that.
Do I not deserve love? I love my mom. I love my dad. Why must I make a decision? Why must that decision be on me?
And as the father you are today, what would you say to that little boy today?
Everything happens for a reason. And the fact that your dad and your mom didn't communicate well, don't make the same mistake. And you will grow up fine. Everything will be alright. The moment that you have your son in the far future, the experience that you have with him, the love that you give to him, the things that you pass on to him, not only physically, but anything, will be with meaning and purpose that nobody can take away from you. And you need to go on this journey because you are stronger than what you think you are. And I say that in a lot of gusto because I often think that back then, I don't deserve love.
But you do.
But I do. Everybody deserves love.
Exactly.
And I will never want Eden to feel that way. Never. Never is the word. Because he shouldn't feel not more like himself. And he should be the full version of himself.
I would like to end with this. One day, Eden will grow up and look back on you as his father. What would you want Eden to remember?
Eden, this recording right now, you probably won't understand how much of work, time and effort that I put into building eternity. I have to admit, at this current point in my life, I'm putting it more love, care and concern and time than to your mommy. So that's a big sacrifice. But I'm building everything that I can to my best ability to have a platform and a company name after you to enable you to do anything that you want in the future. I vow to break intergenerational trauma. And even if anybody says that you are not good enough, I'm telling you right now, this journey of you understanding and learning about yourself wouldn't be alone. I, as your dad, will always be there for you. Something I never had. Something you will never understand. But trust me, everything happens for a reason and it will all pave out well in the far future.
Thank you. That was so, so beautiful.
No pleasure is mine.
Just sit with that for a moment. And for the fathers listening, where can they gently start to begin this journey?
Take the first move of communicating with yourself. Start having that conversations within, and there are actually more and more support groups out there that are coming out. So one good friend of mine, Danny Long from Timber Group, the Duck Pizza, etc. He's also heading a community called Men2, MENTOO, whereby he's gathering actually men to actually have a place, right?
Yes, a place where a dad can go to or a man can go to.
Correct. But it starts off with admitting to yourself that no matter how good you think you are, both personally and professionally, have that deep reflection first. Unlock something within, and then make the tough decision that it's okay to be vulnerable.
Thanks, Eldred, for sharing so honestly and openly and deeply about the journey into becoming the father you are today. And also just to trust me with your story. Thank you so much. To the dads listening, I hope this will be the candle that you needed or the kick in the butt to spend more time towards connection, towards presence. Even if you've had that absence previously, you can make a change. To end, we would love to say Happy Father's Day to you.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.